I doubt, what if I told you that after your faith will either define you or expose you? Ladies and gentlemen, stop scrolling. This is your moment. Every second you wait, your dreams slip away. New video just dropped with Daba's Tony Evans, and it's the wake-up call you've been waiting for. Tap Nano, feel the energy, and unleash the giant within. When the tides of life begin to shift and the world starts to tremble with uncertainty, it is in these moments that faith must rise to the forefront of every believer's heart. July 10, 2025 should not be viewed as a date to dread, but as a reminder of where our true foundation lies. The world may present chaos, fear, and confusion, yet the one who is anchored in the truth will remain steady and unshaken. Just as the roots of a great tree hold it firm during a raging storm, so too must our hearts be rooted deeply in unchanging promises. The winds of cultural change will blow fiercely, demanding compromise from those who follow the path of righteousness. Yet compromise is not an option when eternity hangs in the balance. It is in such moments that we must decide once and for all where our allegiance truly rests. There will be voices calling for silence and hands pushing for surrender, but we are called to a higher standard. Strength in these times is not found in our own might, but in the steadfast certainty that truth will always prevail in the end. Standing firm does not mean the absence of fear, but the decision to keep walking forward in spite of it. Fear may whisper that standing out will cost you too much, but faith declares that nothing of eternal worth can be lost when you are anchored in the right place. Many will choose the comfort of blending in rather than the courage of standing apart, but that choice leads to a slow erosion of conviction. In a world that constantly changes its definitions of right and wrong, the believer's standard must remain unchanged. Our hearts cannot afford to be swayed by public opinion. When the truth has already been spoken, we must be the ones who remain steady while others are tossed by the waves of uncertainty. Strength comes from knowing that our position is not based on trends, emotions, or approval from others. Instead, it is grounded in something that existed before the world began and will remain long after it is gone. This type of faith does not crumble under pressure, but becomes stronger when tested. The greater the opposition, the greater the opportunity to prove the depth of our conviction. Each day after this date will be an opportunity to show the world what it means to live by unshakable faith. Our lives must be the evidence that trust in something greater than ourselves can withstand the heaviest storms. Every challenge we face will be a test, not to break us, but to prove the strength of our foundation. The world may question why we hold to our beliefs when everything around us changes. But our answer will not be in arguments. It will be in the way we live. People will notice the peace that remains when others panic, the hope that glows when others despair, and the courage that stands when others fall. This kind of faith cannot be imitated by empty words. It is revealed through steadfast action. It is in the everyday choices, the quiet sacrifices, and the unwavering refusal to compromise that true strength is seen. And when the dust settles and the noise fades, those who stood firm will be the ones left shining. Life after July 10, 2025 calls for a renewed sense of intentionality in everything we do. The days ahead are not for drifting aimlessly, but for living with a clear mission that aligns with eternal values. Every moment will carry significance, and every choice will either draw people closer to truth or push them further away. This is not a time for passivity. It is a time to recognize that each believer has been placed in their sphere of influence for a reason. The workplace, the home, the community, these are not random settings, but strategic positions for making an impact. Every act of kindness, every word of encouragement, every stand for what is right will carry weight beyond what we can see. Purpose is not something we wait to discover. It is something we choose to walk in daily, even in the smallest details. The way we live will either reflect light or blend into the shadows. To live with purpose means refusing to waste the opportunities that each day presents. The challenges that may come after this date are not roadblocks to that mission. They are the very stage upon which it will be displayed. When difficulties arise, it will be tempting to shrink back or to retreat into a safe and quiet existence. But the truth is that purpose is often magnified in seasons of resistance. The very obstacles we face may become the platforms for the message our lives are meant to convey. Opposition has a way of revealing what we truly believe and how deeply we are committed to it. Rather than seeing these moments as interruptions, we must see them as invitations to step fully into our calling. Every difficulty can be an opportunity to lead, to serve, and to show love that does not waver under pressure. The greatest impact is often made not in times of ease, but in moments when conviction costs something. Choosing to keep moving forward when the road is steep is a testimony in itself. Living with kingdom purpose means being aware that our lives are part of a much bigger picture. The decisions we make ripple outward, touching lives we may never meet and influencing generations we may never see. It's not about grand gestures alone, but about consistent faithfulness in the everyday moments. The way we treat others, the way we respond to adversity, the way we remain steadfast when things don't go our way, all of it contributes to the story being told through us. There will always be distractions trying to pull our attention away from what matters most. There will always be voices urging us to focus on temporary gain rather than eternal impact. But those who live with true purpose will keep their eyes fixed on what lasts forever. They will not measure their lives by the applause they receive, but by the difference they make in the lives of others. Every step will be intentional, and every day will be an opportunity to fulfill the calling placed upon them. After July 10, 2025, the pressures against holding firm to the truth may grow stronger, but this is precisely the moment when courage must rise. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward despite it. There will be times when the easiest path will be to remain silent, to avoid the confrontation that comes with standing for what is right. Yet silence in the face of wrong only allows darkness to spread further. Every generation of believers has faced moments where the cost of conviction was high, and ours will be no different. The testing of faith is not meant to crush us, but to reveal the strength we did not know we had. Opposition has a way of sharpening our character and proving the depth of our commitment. Fear will try to convince us that stepping back will keep us safe, but safety is never found in retreat. True safety is found in walking in obedience, no matter the resistance. The days ahead will require a resilience that does not crumble under pressure. This resilience is not built overnight. It is forged in the quiet moments when we choose integrity over compromise. Each decision to remain faithful when no one is watching strengthens the foundation we stand on when the world is watching. Courage is tested in small ways before it is demanded in great ones. The private victories over fear and doubt prepare us for the public battles that may come. This is why cultivating a heart that is anchored in truth is so essential. If we do not stand on solid ground, the shifting tides of culture will sweep us away. There will be moments when opposition feels personal, when the words spoken against us cut deep, but even then, we must remain steady. The measure of our courage is not seen in comfort, but in challenge. It is in the face of resistance that courage shines brightest. Every act of bravery after this date will be more than a personal victory. It will be an example for others who feel the same pressures, but do not yet know how to respond. Our courage will inspire courage in them. People are often strengthened simply by seeing someone else stand firm. In a world where compromise is expected and conviction is mocked, the quiet, steady refusal to abandon what is right becomes a powerful statement. There will be times when our courage is misunderstood, even labeled as stubbornness or intolerance, but the truth will speak for itself in time. The goal is not to win every argument, but to remain faithful through every trial. In doing so, we plant seeds of strength in those around us, seeds that may grow into their own acts of courage when their time comes. Standing strong in the midst of opposition is not easy, but it is worth everything it costs because it keeps us aligned with what truly matters. July 10, 2025 will come and go like every other date, but for the believer, it is a reminder that time is moving towards something far greater. Every moment that passes brings us closer to the fulfillment of promises that reach beyond this life. The trials and uncertainties we face now are temporary, but the hope we hold is eternal. This perspective changes how we live in the present because it keeps us from being consumed by fear of the future. When we know that the ending has already been written, we can walk through the unknown with confidence. The world may focus on temporary events, but our focus is fixed on the everlasting. Our choices today are shaped by the reality of eternity, not by the fleeting pressures of the moment. Living with this awareness allows us to endure hardships without losing hope. What lies ahead is not something to fear, but something to anticipate with joy. The promise of eternal victory gives us strength to keep moving forward, even when the path is difficult. We are not running toward an uncertain outcome, but toward a destiny that has already been secured. This truth reminds us that no battle we face here can erase the victory that awaits. The challenges of life may try to convince us that we are losing, but in reality, the outcome has never been in question. Even the darkest seasons cannot extinguish the light of what has been promised. This knowledge frees us from living in despair and empowers us to live with courage. We can face each day knowing that everything we endure now will be far outweighed by the joy that is coming. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a step closer to the fulfillment of that victory. Holding on to this hope keeps us steady when everything else feels unstable. It is the anchor that secures our hearts through every storm. When we live with eternity in mind, it changes the way we respond to the present. We no longer see life as a series of random events, but as part of a larger story being written. Temporary discomforts lose their power when compared to the glory that lies ahead. Every act of faithfulness here has significance there. Our perseverance in trials becomes a testimony of the hope that cannot be shaken. This kind of perspective not only strengthens us, but also draws others to seek the same assurance. People are searching for something that will not fail them, and when they see our unshakable hope, it becomes a light in their darkness. Our lives become living reminders that there is more to come than what we see now. And as we hold fast to this truth, we live with confidence, knowing that when the final chapter is written, it will be one of triumph. The best is not behind us or even around us. It is still ahead.